Na na na. Eternal fascination. This is how I sing when I don't know the words to a song. But you know that. Happy Wednesday. That's hard. I don't remember the days sometimes. Facebookers, how are you guys doing out there? It is the 16th of April, 2014. And I'm here on this bridge over the 290, Highway 290 over here in Northwest Houston. Just got some gas. And man, it was tricky. So I went to Randall's, right? And I see one side is HEB, the other side is Randall's. Two different gas stations, two different grocery stores, right? So HEB, $3.39 a gallon. I go to Randall's, it was $3.31 advertised on their sign out there. So I go for $3.31. I'm like right in the parking lot. I usually don't go there because I'm a big supporter of HEB, mind you. And I fill up my gas, and then I'm done with it, and I put the pump up, and I have a thing that I record my gas on my iPhone, right? So it keeps track of how much I'm spending in mileage, blah, blah, blah. And then I look at the price, and it says $3.41, and I'm like, usually I might not do something, but I thought it was significant enough that I should say something about it. Because the sign out there says $3.31, the pump is $3.41. I'm like, yo, this is jacked up. So, and then I go to the register guy, and he's like, yeah, if it's credit, it's $3.41. If it's cash or debit, it's $3.31. I'm like, what? So I get a little upset, and I'm putting stuff in, and I realize, actually, it's not terrible, because I did do debit. So I did get gas like 8 cents cheaper a gallon. But still, why do people gotta be tricky like that? That's frustrating to me. I'm not down with that. Don't try to trick people just to get them over there. Be honest, do something good, make people feel special about themselves, because even though I got a deal, I still feel like I'm cheated. So society, right, they have a corporate responsibility, or social responsibility is what it's called, excuse me, or corporate social responsibility. So there you go. That's my first thing for today. Second thing is I have a presentation today that kind of goes along the lines of this corporate responsibility. It's our own personal responsibility. This book called The Oz Principle, I actually read this chapter, and I haven't really been reading it. I bought the audiobook so I can listen to it, and that's gone super well. It's really dry. But this one chapter, it was kind of long. I mean, it was like 24 pages, right? This wasn't terrible. A lot of different examples. It was talking about owning your situation and your circumstances, that we have the responsibility to own what happens to us, right? Own our situation. Part of, I get it, it's like staying above the line instead of below the line, right? I choose to take the higher road, but it's not just the decisions, the consequences that follow. Oh, this traffic is terrible. But part of the owning it principle is having the fortitude or experience or understanding and knowing your surroundings around you, knowing what you're getting into, seeing signs as they're happening and noticing red flags in situations to help you avoid further issues. So in one case they talked about NASA, and they had the Hubble telescope, right? And they put it up in the atmosphere and found out there's a problem with one of the mirrors, the lenses, right? So they spent $2.5 billion on it. It's not even working properly. So part of that is they spent millions and millions of dollars trying to figure out who was to blame, and it was one of these contractors that didn't give all the information they needed to after like tons and tons of time of looking at it. And it was just a waste. Instead of owning it and saying, hey, you know, this was our problem, we need to fix it now, right? Or even before that, when it was suggested to them to go ahead and set up this observatory for pretty cheap. I mean, $10 million is still a lot of money, but comparative to, you know, 2.5 or the $1 billion they spent to send up a space shuttle up there to go fix the mirrors and the lenses, that's a lot of money. So in the scheme of things, they could have done better. They could have prevented issues from happening, etc., etc. So the same thing in our life. Another example was a guy, he was getting out of grad school from his MBA. He had a a job lined up with a large corporation, Citibank, and he was approached by these two guys who own this pool supply company, and they showed him, picked him up in a fancy car, took him to this really nice house, blah blah blah, and gave him all these hopes and dreams. He accepted the job, and then they sold the company. He's like, oh, too bad, so sad. And these bad things kept happening to him, but it was him realizing in the situations, the details previous, that he wasn't paying attention to, that he could have helped himself. So it's kind of the same situation with us. It's kind of a hard pill to swallow sometimes, because we have to look at our own responsibility versus the responsibilities of other people around us. But you know, and sometimes that's difficult to discern because we don't have the foresight or the understanding of what is going around us, or understanding that this is probably an indicator that this is not a good thing, that there could be problems. So it's kind of a difficult concept in a way, and I feel like it can be justified. Sometimes it's not as justified, but that's about experience and learning, right? I think that's what makes us better as professionals and managers, and understanding how to own our situation and to own our responsibility, right? Because that's what it comes down to. We all just want people to do what's their job, and their responsibility is for us to do ours. You know, we shouldn't feel like we have to do other people's jobs. So there you go. I'm getting off my soapbox now. And that's it. 6 minutes and 40 seconds. That's a long talk that went really quickly. I still got stuff in my throat. I didn't work out this morning, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. I'm going to do it after work. It's like lower day, which means it's leg day. And I'm going to wait till after boot camp, because I'm afraid boot camp is also going to have leg day. And I'd rather perform at boot camp, since I'm really paying for that, versus the T25 I'm not really paying for. So it's like a one-time deal. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. It's beautiful weather here. I don't know how it is where you are, but it's nice here. So have a good one. Enjoy. Do something nice. Happy Easter week, by the way. Keep remembering Christ if you are a Christian. If not, think of him as a good man, a good example. That's all. But I'm a believer, and I believe in it, and I'm very happy to celebrate this time of year. It has a lot of personal significance to me, personally. So, have a good one. This is Big Papa, a.k.a. El Capitan, coming to you live from his car. Make it a good one. Stay sexy, stay cool. Peace! I didn't hit the button again.